Hello everybody and welcome back live to Simraceway's World Touring Car Championship 2011. Here we really cannot wait for this race to get underway. It was an impressive pole position from Shadow Bounty and we really don't know what's going to happen. It's been sensational so far. The lights go out and it's a BMW 1, 2, 3, 4, but they will scramble as they're heading towards Paddock Hill Bend. And it's Van Panda that leads the way. Stuntman Mike second. Nolan on the outside. The newcomer goes down to third after an impressive qualifying. They scramble into Druids for the first time this 15-lap race. They've got to stay together. Shadow Bounty there with a bit of a nudge as well. The drivers cannot lose their cool. They've got to try and stay calm in this opening stint. As they make their way down in towards the drop for the first time, and it's still Van Panda that leads. Stuntman second, Nolan third, for Shadow Bounty fifth, B13, an almighty scrap going on for sixth place at the moment. Double Bevin on the inside of Jamu. Jamu sweeps it round and is able to maintain the position for just a bit longer. He's done very well there actually. So well played to him. Graf Findle now on the inside of Devil Bevin trying to get there. Unfortunately not just yet though. Early days, so 15 laps, as we've said, it's a long afternoon of racing. And he's trying to hold on against Grafindle and PA. It's a long afternoon. They've got to try and keep their heads clear. Luke's guide to the inside of Dimitri Giannopoulos. And he'll start right at the front of the grid for next race after the reverse grid of qualifying. Around the outside goes Luke's guide. Dimitris and Giannopoulos collide. Hopefully the two of them stay together. They don't go off and crash or anything. Findle, Devil Bevin, Jamu, B13, Shadow Bounty, Nolan, Stuntman Mike and Van Panther are your reverse current order. Van Panther being the man at the front of the field at the moment. And he's got a 1.4 second gap as well onto lap 2. Stuntman Mike, Nolan and Shadow Bounty. The other drivers following. Shadow Chevrolet going up the inside of Nolan Bolin, but Nolan keeps his car very firmly placed. Now he's going to try and hold on again. His Shadow Bounty is B13 now goes to the outside through Pilgrim's Drop. And this is where things get very tense in towards Hawthorne's. B13 round the outside of the Chevrolet. There's not much room there, but the BMW makes it stick absolutely beautifully there. Gorgeous driving from B13A6 in the early stages of this one. The Shadow Bounty clinging on at the moment then as he goes to the inside of B13. And he's not quite got it just yet though. The battle for P4 we're witnessing. Can you get there or no? Not quite. Shadow Bounty moves to the inside. And can you get there? Oh, he's done it through Paddock Hill Bend. The Chevrolet back in front, and as they go towards Druids, the BMW cuts back. This is classic touring car racing. It's B13 now on the assault. Swooping round Shadow Bounty, can he hold his line in the Chevrolet? Not quite, but on the run down in towards Graham Hill Bend, I think the Chevrolet's just about done it. It's as the Shadow Bounty retains 4th position. So Van Panda still leads from Stuntman Mike in 2nd place, with 3rd place Nolan Bolin. 4th place is the battle we've been taking a look at. Shadow Bounty B13, Jamie gaining on them. Devil Bevin in 7th, 8th place Ralph Findle, 9th Mr. P8, 10th AGO6, 11th Luke Sky 80, 12th place Dimitris Giannopoulos, 13th Lazarus 16. That's still all set to change though. And don't forget, we've still got plenty more action coming up for you. Not even just this race, but the reverse grid after it should be a thriller. B13 there, looking like he had some minor internet issues. And now Van Panther keeps his head clear. Second place, Stuntman Mike. Third place, still Nolan Bowling. Lap times that time round were very, very quick actually for the top four. All very close together as well. But Van Panther losing a bit of ground there to Stuntman Mike. Only 1.3 seconds at the moment. Let's see what Stuntman Mike's capable of though. Can he gain any time as they go through the drop in towards Hawthorns under the Simraceway bridge? Nolan keeping them kind of close together. 5 seconds adrift. Fourth place is Shadow Bounty. Fifth place B13. Sixth place J-Moot. Seventh Devil Bevin. Eighth place Grauffindel. Ninth AGO. Then PA, Luke Sky and Dimitri. The last four all being Volvos there. It's been a very BMW dominated opening stint. 1, 2, 3. Well, 1, 2, 3 all BMWs. Then it's a Chevy. Then another BMW and another 2 following. But another lap in the books then. And the drive is starting to settle into a rhythm now. A 1 minute 30.2 for Van Panther, a 30.4 for Stuntman Mike, 30.5 for Nolan Bowling, a 129.9 for Shadow Bounty. So that man is absolutely flying at the moment at the inside in P4. Shadow Bounty goes a bit wide there after that excessively good lap and allows B13 going up the inside. Big start there for B13, keeps his momentum going nice and strong indeed. And so B13 out to P4 now. Look at the line of BMWs. And now the Shadow Bounty trying to go back up though with that Chevrolet. The B13 keeps his cool in P4 with Shadow Bounty trying to go back up the inside again, and they almost collide there, and that should have been certain contact. Nolan Bowling third, Stuntman Mike second, and Van Panther still claiming the race lead at this stage though, but it could all change very shortly, especially the P4 B13 under a lot of pressure. Bounty to the inside of Clearways, that gets cut very, very short indeed. Shadow Bounty is now going to do a lot of work to keep it going. A bit further behind as well, battle for 7th. Devil Bevan and Grauffindel as Grauffindel moves to the inside. And that's the Paddock Hill bend. Devil should sweep it round nice and easy. Indeed he does. And the Volvo stays behind at the moment. But back in the battle with Shadow Bounty and B13. It's back and forth, back and forth. It's now currently B13 that heads to charge with Shadow Bounty trying to cut back underneath again. And in the Rob Huff driven Chevrolet, it's got a bit more power than the BMW. It's a bit more of a bulky machine. But the BMW sweeps it round Surtees. Can he? Not quite. Big manoeuvre there by the Chevrolet. You can see the Shadow Bounty tries to cut back underneath. B13 has played a blindingly marvellous manoeuvre. But now as they go through the drop, he'll be on the outside going into Hawthorns. It's not where you want to be at all. Can he move to the inside or no? Not quite, although he has pulled along the inside the next corner. They go through the double apex. And again, Shadow Bounty keeps his head clear, just above water at the moment. And Shadow Bounty from B13, J-Moot, Devil Bevan and Grauffindel. So even Grauffindel now coming into the action slightly. Can he move to the inside? Not quite. He's done everything he can there. And he's now really got a lot of work to do. Can he move to the outside of Paddock Hill, bend in the Volvo or no? He's got to really put the hammer down. To the inside of the blind apex he goes. And Devil Bevan holds strong in the black and orange BMW. The blue and yellow Volvo just behind, scrambling around, darting for any sort of manoeuvre he can. We're about halfway through this race right now. We will be very shortly, at least when Van Panther crosses the line next time by. He still leads this race from Stuntman Mike in second. And of course, the man in third place, Nolan Bowling, the debutant, running very, very strongly here today. Only 4 seconds away from the race leader, so keeping them in check as he's 9 seconds clear of Shadow Bounty. And then in 4th place, we said is Shadow, just ahead of B13. Then the Jolly Jamu train, Jamu, Devil Bevin, Grauffindel, and then a bit further behind Luke Sky battling with AG06, and a long line of Volvos, Dimitri, Mr. PA, and then a couple of ones as well getting themselves mixed in there. But it's a very, very interesting start to the race. It's all sort of died down a little. If you look at the cars that are involved, Dimitri, Giannapolis and PA, the last two on the train. So from Luke Sky downwards are all Volvos and all of them scrambling. Dimitri on the outside of AG06, they collide! And AG06 able to keep it on the black stuff. However, Dimitri Giannapolis isn't. He's off the circuit and down to 12th position, right at the tail end of the Volvo Vanguard at the moment. So down he goes. Another lap complete for Van Panther and a big lap time there, 1:31.2, 2/10 quicker than the man chasing him. But it's a Chevrolet Shadow Bounty that really is lighting up the timing screens of 1:29.995 for him. So the Chevrolet looking incredibly quick here around the twists and turns of Brands Hatch. Although the race still goes on now, the battles may have died down a little, other than the Grauffindel, and that is still very much alive. Grauffindel to the outside of Devil Bevin, tries to sweep it round in the Volvo, the BMW having absolutely none of that. And keeps his momentum at an all-time cool there, so Grauffindel just about staying behind. It was a very, very worthy manoeuvre. He almost got the job done, but it just wasn't enough on the day. And Devil Bevin keeps his nose clear just for a few moments longer. Whether that will stay or no remains to be seen. But lap number 9 of 15 about to be started by Van Panther, 1.2 seconds away from the chasing BMW of stuntman Mike. Nolan another 2.8 seconds behind, so really not that far. Off the track there goes Nolan there. Bit of it wasn't a massive off, but 2 wheels off the circuit. Show a bit of inconsistency. Graufindel's Volvo again to the inside of Devil Bevin. And again, the black and orange BMW claiming authority on the Brands Hatch race circuit. Just behind Luke Sky and AG06, and the 2 Volvos are starting to really duel between them now. AG06 and Luke Sky. Luke Sky doing everything he can to keep AG06 at bay. They've been really fighting and very, very hard over the past few moments, and we're sure it's only going to increase as time goes on, considering we only have 6 laps left as they cross the time limit next time by. Grauffindel and Devil Bevin will be hoping there's 60 more. They've been dueling hammer and tongue all race long, and I can't see this battle being solved anytime soon. And Mr. PA goes off, and he's gone a bit wide there, and that's a real struggle for PA in 10th. AG06 and Luke Sky though still wanting to be a force to be reckoned with, and Shadow Bounty is upside down. He's out of the race, isn't he? Shadow Bounty with a massive collision there. He's down to P12, so not where he wants to be, right at the tail end of the field. Shadow Bounty has had a real disaster there, and that's put him right at the tail end of this field. Yeah, his laps are 1:50 almost, so big shunt there for the Chevrolet of Shadow Bounty, and that's going to be a massive spanner in the works, that's for sure. But still, Van Panther leads then from stuntman Mike, who's about 1.5 seconds away, so the gap's averaged out, as is Nolan, who stays about 2 seconds behind the 2 leaders. B13 in 4th, Devil Bevin 5th, 6th place Grauffindel, Luke Sky 7th, AG06 still chasing an 8th with Dimitri 9th, and now Mr. PA rounding out your top 10. 11th Jamu, 12th Shadow Bounty, although Shadow's got a lot of work to build up, hasn't he, over the next 6 laps or so. There's not long left in the race. We're well over halfway now, about 15 minutes in. He needs to try and find something before it's too late. To see what these drivers are made of, though, it's going to be a very difficult couple of moments for them. Van Panther over the line again, lap 11 underway, 1 minute 30 flat for him, 5 tenths faster that time than Stuntman Mike and 3 tenths than Nolan. So Nolan Bolin, the newcomer to this series, doing okay, isn't he? Clinging with the big boys at the moment, in fact gaining on Stuntman Mike that time by. Not a bad showing at all, is it, on your first ever sim race, especially in a series as competitive as this one as well, the World Touring Car Championship. He's stuck it to the big boys. Can he maybe get on the second step of the podium? Still remains to be seen at the moment. Nolan in third, 4th place B1386, 5th place Devil Bevin, 6th place Grafindel, 7th Luke, 8th AGO and 9th Dimitri Giannopoulos at this stage. Still a long way before we hit a checkered flag though, and that means there could still be a lead change. I mean, I know Van Panther's led the majority of the way so far. Stuntman Mike now 3 seconds adrift, and Nolan Bolin actually gaining on Mike. So he's slipping into the prey of the black and orange BMW. Is Stuntman Mike the newcomer, looking to really establish a name for himself right now. Out of the final corner of clearways they go. The VIP boxes to the left, the grandstands also, followed by the motorhomes. And over the start-finish straight once again, it's another big lap. A 130.101 for Nolan, a 131.94 for Mike. So again he was quicker, but that time round Van Panther put them all to shame with a 129.814. So exceptional stuff there by our race leader. Devil Bevin's not too far off the pace either. Let's see what AGO6 can do from P8 at the moment. Can he get to the inside of Luke Sky and Paddock Hill Bend? The answer to that question is a resounding no. Lap 12 of 15, doing all he can. 4 laps remaining, and he's just a bit too far adrift at the moment. He's right on the tail end, but that's being one thing. Passing is a complete other thing, especially around Brands Hatch, where it's so difficult to fit even one car out wide, let alone 2 or 3. AGO6 get to the inside of Luke Sky now. I think he can actually. It's a big move down through the drop. And Luke's going to sweep his Volvo around the outside. The 2 Volvos make a bit of contact, but AGO6 goes through. Luke Sky down to a lonely 8th position at the moment with the keyboard king, Dimitri Giannopoulos, just a few seconds away. This is going to be an incredible showing, that's for sure, in the final few moments or so. And don't forget, we've still got a battle up front of Grafindel and Devil Bevin. We've got Nolan and Stuntman gaining on each other as well. This could be one of the most emphatic finishes of our season so far. Out of the final corner go Grafindel and Devil. Now can Grafindel go to the inside or no? Devil Bevin with very late brake in there. And he may have just outbroken himself going into Druids. Grafindel's going to try and come back at him, is he? Not quite. But the 3 Volvos behind of AGO, Luke and Dimitri, that's 7th, 8th and 9th. They're all fighting very hard. And this could be one of the biggest battles to be broadcasting quite some time. I don't think the other guys are going to catch each other for a pass anytime soon, but those 3 are looking rampant at the moment, especially Dimitri is looking especially fast. Knows he wants to get a good result. He's got a good start for the second race. I think he's 2nd place if I remember rightly. So some big points here as well. Would not go amiss, get himself 2 chances to get some big points on the table in the final round of the championship. There would have been 8 rounds by the end of this weekend, and they would have needed to make every single one count to be a factor in this championship. And Dimitri make his way through, or no, not quite through there. We've got another 3 cars behind as well with J-Mo and Shadow Bounty. They're trying to chase down Mr. PA, and Shadow Bounty, of course, who spent some of this race on his roof earlier on, does not want to be doing that again. Van Panther starts his penultimate lap, and now Nolan bowling all over the back of stuntman Mike. We've said he's been catching the man in second place for quite some time, and now he's got close enough to almost be a passing threat. He's so close to that rear spoiler, and stuntman Mike will be running for his life over the next 2.5 minutes or so, realising what's at stake. Can Nolan move to the inside of stuntman, or no, not quite. That torn around. He's doing his best though, and a big lock up there by Luke Sky is not going to give Dimitri a big enough advantage. But watch out for Shadow Bounty in 11th. He has passed Jamie, so he's not lost anymore. I don't think he will pass Pierre. I think he's a bit too far at the road. But my goodness me, what a shaken up order. Shadow, who was right at the front of the field, prime position to get good points after a good qualifying, has now made a big mistake, and it gets even worse because he'll be starting right at the back of the field next time round. As the reverse grid's not race results, it's on qualifying, making it an entirely different ball game. So if you mess up your result from the opening row of the grid and then you have to start at the back, it's going to be a bad weekend for you. That's exactly what he's finding out right now. Van Panther crosses the line to start his final encounter of the Brandsatch circuit for race number 1, and now it looks to me like Nolan Boland has got so close to the rear end of stuntman Mike. We could see a lacklustre manoeuvre into the final few corners here if we're lucky, into Druids. There's nothing going just yet, but the two BMWs side by side almost through there as they're going towards Graham Hill Bend. A bit further behind as well, Luke Sky with the pit button lit. Is there a fuel problem? Maybe for Luke Sky 80. We've seen it once today, though apparently it was a technical difficulty, but we've seen it in this championship before, drivers running low on fuel. You notice the abundance of Chevrolets. That could be due to their inconsistencies, but no, Shadow Bounty. He's also positioned to Jamie. He's trying to go up the inside again. Jamie forced off circuit as they're going towards Surtees. The two remain side by side, and now he's got to try and make a move of this. We've got Dimitri Giannopoulos losing a position to Luke Sky as well. Shadow Bounty retakes 12th, and stuntman Mike with a big slide there, and oh, Nolan Bolden goes off, and now I'm pretty sure it's going to ruin any chance he had of getting the lead in this race. There's just one more corner to go, and Van Panther makes a dive for clearways, 2.1 seconds ahead of stuntman Mike in second. From flag to flag almost for Van Panther. It's a win in the final round of the World Touring Car Championship for Van Panther. He'll be delighted with that one. Stuntman Mike second, Nolan Bolden a debut third position there. What a way to make an impact in the top skill quad. B1386 takes 4th, Graf Findel will take 5th ahead of AG06. Luke Sky should keep his Volvo in 6th, or 7th I should say, ahead of Dimitri Giannopoulos. Mr. Pierre will take 9th place ahead of Shadow Bounty in 10th, Jamu in 11th, Devil Bev in 12th, Dimitri in 13th position. So that's the end of race 1. We've got a complete reverse grid for race number 2. You will not want to miss it. We'll be right back with you live for the final race in our Simraceway 2011 World Touring Car Championship. So here we are then, the final race of your 2014, well 2011 essentially, World Touring Car Championship for Simraceway. Pierre on pole, Luke Sky second, AG06 and B13 third and fourth. The lights go out. It's going to be a big start there. Already a big launch there for Van Panther, who already started a fantastic race last time. Starts at the back of the field, charges through, and is already making progress as the field slammed down into Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. I think that's an orange and black BMW that's gone just a little bit wide there, but it's B13 that leads the field out of Druids. Luke Sky in second, Graf Findel third, 4th place is Lazarus, 5th place P8, 6th Stuntman, 7th Nolan Bolwins. And a good start there by the debutant, really making a name for himself here today. AGO6 in 8th, Van Panther 9th, Dimitri's 10th, Shadow Bounty 11th, 12th is Jamu, 13th Devil Bevin, and a bit of contact there with Shadow Bounty and Jamu. Devil almost gets caught up, goes on the grass and gravel. He's going to lose a bit of time, but I'm sure he would rather lose time than lose the end of a race. Let's just wait and see how this goes though, because right now it's going to be a big race, especially at the front of the field. When you look at the race leader B13 and that orange and black BMW pulling away from the two Volvos of Luke Sky and Graf Findel. So the field's already split into 3 groups essentially. So you've got B13, Luke, Sky, Graf, Findle and Lazarus, your top 4. Then P8, dragging with him Stuntman Mike, who's already gone to the inside and he can't quite do it. And Nolan bowling, AGO6, Van Panther, Shadow Bounty and Dimitri's Giannopoulos. So Van Panther's holding on very sturdy at the moment. But he's going to struggle now as they're going towards Paddock Hill Bend. That number 1 out of the way, 14 to go here at Brands Hatch of our World Touring Car Championship. Shadow to the inside, it's going to be a big manoeuvre. He's already in the gravel almost. Van Panther trying his best to hold on to come back up the inside of Shadow Bounty in the BMW. And he's struggled a bit there. Shadow and the Chevrolet sweeps around the outside. And the Chevrolet cruises by, if you pardon the pun. AGO, Nolan, Stuntman, Mr. PA in 5th, Graf Findle 4th. Just at the moment, there's a BMW trying to make a move there, and it looks to me like that is Stuntman Mike. Yes, it is. Trying to overtake Pierre and Nolan. Nolan already up to 7th. That progress about to be halted, though, shortly. Actually, take it back. He goes up the inside of Stuntman Mike, so he's up to 6th. The biggest mover and shaker since the grid now at the inside of that Volvo. Mr. PA still vying for a manoeuvre as they go through the double right-handed corner. And now they're left Stuntman Mike wondering what's going on. Nolan bowling could be one of the most explosive talents to burst onto the Simraceway scene in quite some time. I've not seen him drive through the field this early on since today's Asa Okoro. We know we say it week in, week out, is anyone going to do it? I think Nolan bowling could do. He's got the pace, he's got the credentials, he's got the potential. He's now up to P6, looking on the back of Mr. PA for P5. End of lap number 2. The man has climbed up half of the field already. AGO6 just behind, then Shadow Bounty. Van Panther and Stuntman Mike. They're also jostling around. Can Nolan get there or no? Not quite. And PA's doing everything he can to keep his car there, but Nolan's sprinting around the outside of Graham Hill Bend, and he's cut short, he spins! Can he save the slide? No, he gets tapped by AGO6. You've got to feel like if he wasn't tapped then, he would have saved the slide. That is a real shame for that black and orange BMW. He's tried just about everything he can. And Nolan bowling sinks down to 12th position. The only man he's in front of is Jamu. And that's such a shame. He was one of the most entertaining drivers. Or Stuntman Mike has had a spin as well. So he's up to P11. Van Panther, the race winner from last time, stuck behind Dimitri's Giannopoulos at the moment. Those two dueling over 8th and 9th, only not much longer. As Dimitri goes a bit wide, Van Panther's able to sail straight up the inside like it was the easiest thing since turning on your computer. Although we know there's going to be a lot more controversy in this race. Shadow Bounty around the outside there. The man who ended up on his roof last time round had a good start. Already up to P5, he knows he needs some good points after what was a very unfortunate run last time by. Over the line, lap number 3 completed. Not very long to go now until we can crown ourselves a winner of this race and then decide our championship. The final results get announced midweek during the next 7 days. And now at the inside again, there goes Graf Findle. Lazarus working with everything he's got to keep his car behind, and he couldn't quite keep the position. Oh, and he spun in the same corner. Was a big drift. Almost spun at the same corner. We saw Nolan bowling spin out a few moments ago just on the exit of Graham Hill Bend. And now Shadow Bounty in the Chevrolet may try and take 4th place from him. He's certainly in the position to do so. He's got a great run going down in towards the drop. Can he make the move stick or no? It's going to be an entirely different question now. Through the right-hander they go. And these drivers giving it 110% at the moment. Really are sticking it to the man, as the saying goes. Shadow Bounty hold on against Lazarus, so Lazarus has done well so far, but Shadow to the inside he goes. Lazarus keeps his head clear. Out of the final corner, Shadow Bounty trying to push on once again, and he can't quite get there at the moment. Lazarus doing just about enough to keep the Chevy at bay. It's Volvo versus Chevrolet, the classic battle of the 2011 season, of course. Shadow to the inside, Lazarus with a big moment. I thought that one was going to end in tears, and it almost has. The Volvo's off into the gravel. And that's a big unfortunate event for Lazarus 16. So Shadow Bounty goes through. PA is not that far away either. Lazarus sweeps through Surtees. And now the 4 cars, all blue. Only one Chevrolet in amongst them, and that one is Shadow Bounty, rounding out your top 5. And looking very, very racy indeed. About a third of the way through the race at the end of this lap. And B13, 7 seconds clear of Luke Sky 80 in front. With Graf Findel in 3rd, Lazarus P4, Shadow Bounty P5, PA 6, 7th AGO 6th, Hampler in 8th, Dimitri Giannopoulos 9th, Nolan Bowl in 10th, Paul Bevin in 11th, Stuntman Mike 12th, and Jamie 1 in 13th position. Now Graf Findel all over the back of Luke Sky though, going to give it a go at the inside, not quite. Through there, very, very difficult on the run down towards Clearways. He just couldn't quite get the run going he wanted, and unfortunately had to surrender it. A real shame though, he was looking extremely racy a few moments ago. But Sterling's Bend, traditionally difficult to overtake on. Maybe not here though, down the main straight they come in towards Paddock again. Luke Sky on the outside, Graf Findel on the inside. Can Graf Findel hold on to 3rd place? Or maybe even take it from, or 2nd from Luke? He has done. Luke Sky though, of course, will get the inside line on the run towards Druids. Parks the Volvo nicely, bit of argy-bargy. Luke Sky takes control of 2nd place. Graf Findel tries to sneak up the inside, but of course that would mean he's on the outside, going in towards Graham Hill Bend and down the Cooper Straight. Big rock up there going on in P4. That's Lazarus trying to defend away from Shadow Bounty, doing everything he can there to keep the blue car at bay. The big Chevy has got other intentions. He wants to make it through and join the fight for the podium on lap number 6 of 15. Here we've had about 8 minutes of racing out of the 15 laps that we've got. And now can Shadow Bounty maybe make his way to the outside or no? Going to be a late braking manoeuvre. Doesn't quite have enough to see the move through, but he's definitely looking for it, isn't he? I've just come out of Hawthorne in towards Westfield Bend. And again, cut short. Lazarus defending well. We saw this in race 1. We're seeing it again here in race number 2. Oh, and he spun. No, that's off Luke Sky 80. Spun from 2nd position. I don't think that was contact. I may be wrong though. And all of that flood of Volvo cars go through. He's down to 8th. Dimitri Giannopoulos makes that 9th almost as they go side by side going in towards Clearways and Clark Curve. And he does in fact so. Luke Sky down to 9th place, and just like that, a race turned on its head. Nolan Bolin down in a lonely 10th position after his incident earlier on, so it's not been a good race there for him. And B13 enters Druid, still the race leader, 5 seconds clear of Graf Findel, through a couple of seconds clear of this scrap. Shadow Bounty around the outside of Lazarus, and that's become now for P3. Lazarus holds on in the Volvo, but I don't think he's going to be able to stay there for too much longer. He's gone very wide. Shadow Bounty almost punished him for it, didn't quite get enough steam to make the move through though. Now Shadow trying to get to the inside. Lazarus sweeps it round. Now trying to move to the inside. Shadow Bounty, can he cut underneath? No, Lazarus very, very stern there, parking his car like he doesn't plan on moving for an eternity. He's paid and displayed his ticket there. Okay, and AGO 6 also not too far adrift now. And now into the final corner come that quartet of cars again. Lazarus from Shadow Bounty, then PA and AGO 6. AGO 6 to the inside of PA, that's for P5 if he can make it stick. Paddock Hill Bend so difficult to overtake though, and has he got it in or no? He's on the inside, and of course he will have the inside line going in towards Druids. He can just about sneak it through. He can. AGO 6 moves it into P5. They've got the BMW of Van Panther joining the battle as well. The race winner from last time really looking now to make an impact. And now the run really starts to collide for Mr. PA because Van Panther slides through the P6, so it's down to P7. He wanted in the slightest. He really needed that centre stability. And unfortunately, it's all gone just slightly wrong there for him. And PA could sink even further down the field now. As Dimitri Giannopoulos, the keyboard king, goes to the inside. He pushes in right to the edge of the circuit. Through Westfield corner, a bit of contact. And Mr. PA is really getting aggressive on the defensive side of things now. Does not want to let him through. And that's going to be a big worry indeed. Nolan Bowling trying to go up the inside of Luke Sky 80. Both have done extremely well this weekend so far. And now through the final corner and onto the main straight they go. We're over halfway through this race. P13 then, 8 seconds clear at the moment ahead of Graffindo in second, Shadow Bounty third, Lazarus fourth, AGO6 in fifth, Van Panther sixth, Dimitri seventh, Nolan Bowling eighth, 9th is Luke Sky, 10th is Mr. PA, 11th Devil Bevin, 12th Stuntman, and 13th Jamie. So Nolan Bowling currently there in 8th place. Needs to do just a little bit more though, doesn't he, to try and convert this into a fully fledged assault package, because if you ask me, this man had the potential to get into the podium positions. Just behind Luke Sky and PA again doing war in those two Volvos. PA get to the inside or no, that's going to be another mission entirely. PA goes a bit too wide. B13, 10 seconds clear. Second place Graffindo, third place Shadow Bounty, fourth Lazarus, fifth AGO6, sixth was the race winner from race number 1 in 6th position. So Van Panther really pushing through at the moment, and we'll see what he can do. He's got two Volvos up in front of him though, so it's not exactly easy pickings. AGO6 and Lazarus, two very competitive drivers. B13, Graffindo, Shadow, Lazarus, AGO6 and Van Panther. Luke Sky, Mr. PA, Devil Bevin in 11th, Stuntman in 12th, Jamie's 13th. But it's all sort of separated out now, other. So lap 11 of 15 underway, a 130.5 pure AC to B13. Second is Graffindo, and he's flying a tenth faster, but it could be too little too late for Graffindo now, because he's just 10 seconds away in just 6 laps. It's very difficult to do, but we do currently, don't want to jinx it, have a Chevrolet on the podium. We had some inconsistencies and reliability issues last week with those Chevrolet Cruisers. That apparently has been demolished now, so the cars are much more reliable, but many drivers didn't want to tempt fate. They've gone to the new manufacturer, Volvo. Shadow Bounty stayed loyal to his Chevrolet history and has got himself in the podium as a response after a poor race one. Ended up on his roof actually during race number 1, and now finds himself fighting very, very hard with Graffindo for 2nd position, so he's doing well. 4th place Lazarus, 5th place AGO6, 6th Van Panther. But AGO6 and Lazarus fighting extremely close together, and I'm just wondering if Lazarus can get to the inside. AG06 goes on the counter attack, makes it stick. The two collide. Van Panther is going to be really struggling. Because if the two collide, it's not like where most situations, if two cars in front of you collide, you can make the easy pickings and get through no questions asked. But with Brands Hatch, with the circuit so narrow, the runoff so wide, and the barriers so tense and so stiff, it makes it extremely difficult for cars to make a big pass. And if they do collide, you've got a car tucked up right behind you. There's not many places for that car to go other than straight into the back of you. Shadow Bounty pushing on against Grafindel in third. The gap down to 1 second, a 1:29.9 for Shadow Bounty. The Chevrolet is looking extremely fiery. By extremely fiery, we mean he means business now. Out of 30s he comes, down the Cooper straight. The last few laps he's been setting the timesheets alight. If they got any more purple, I think they'll burn out my eye socket. Shadow Bounty has been tearing up the Brands Hatch circuit. And Grafindel will be feeling all of that pressure. Shadow Bounty, one of the more experienced drivers here in the Simraceway service, as they go down through the drop, out of Pilgrims, out of Hawthorne Hill and into Hawthorne Bend. Grafindel maintains his composure, but with 4 laps to go, what can Shadow Bounty do? He's got to the inside. Now they go towards Westfield. He's gone to the inside, but with an apex that closes up quicker than a revolving door, there was no way he was going to get away through there unscathed. A real shame. But Lazarus P4, AG065, Van Panther 6th at the moment. We still got to keep an eye on that battle. The race winner from race number 1 was Van Panther, of course. He's now in 6th after starting from right at the back of the field after the qualifying results reversed the grid for race number 2. Dimitris Giannopoulos out of the race, something you never want to see. One of our most dedicated drivers, our first and only retirement so far. A real problem there, but hopefully he can make it stick into the next championship, at least anyway. It's a real disappointment, especially to end the championship on a retirement. No driver wants to do it. They all want to end with at least a top 5 or some points. But we know Dimitri, we know we'll be back for the following championship. Whatever it is, we've got a big announcement coming for you within the next couple of weeks here at Simraceway for our next series. Obviously our GT Giants Championship still running strong. That's been a phenomenal success, so well done to everyone who has competed in that one every Thursday. But our new championships on Sundays will get announced next week, and you really won't be able to contain your excitement when you find out what they are. We know Dimitri will be back there fighting just like the rest of these drivers. So Shadow Bounty still fighting over second. Can he move to the inside? Graffindel's Volvo defending on the inside of Hawthorne's corner. Very close. It was edgy, but he got it done just about. Can Shadow go to the inside or no? Not quite. But the Chevy is looking extremely dangerous, and look at the pack of cars now. We've got a Lazarus line. It's Lazarus, AGO, Van Panther, and now Nolan Boland, who could even have a chance at the top 5. If he can, he could be driver of the day. AGO6 under intense pressure. It's a terrible exit going out of Sterling's Bend into the final corner. And they're all somehow holding on. Nolan side by side with Van Panther, the race winner and 3rd place from last race. And now side by side, it's BMW drag racing in towards Paddock Hill Bend. Nolan Boland on the inside. Van Panther defending with everything he's got. Nolan storms through. A big move, and the newcomer sends a careering upset through. Van Panther goes back on the counter into Druids. Overtakes again. Nolan's obviously going to sneak back underneath. He doesn't have the power. But a scary moment for experienced veteran Van Panther. There's a new kid on the block, and he is here to stay. Nolan Boland having a phenomenal debut here in the Simraceway World Touring Car Championship. What a way to start. That is absolutely breathtaking. Making a move that gutsy going in towards Paddock Hill Bend. We're on the penultimate lap of the race, and I wish we had another 15. The B1386 is 12 seconds clear and just about a minute and a half away from a victory in the final race of your Simraceway World Touring Car Championship for the 2011 season. Shadow Bounty second, Graffindel's in third, then that long line of cars which you may as well throw a blanket over. We still don't know how this is going to end. It's Grafindel, AG06 in fourth, you've got Lazarus, then Nolan, and then Van Panther, and Nolan's done it again! He's gone round the outside of Sterling to make it stick! So Nolan Boland making his way down now in towards the final corner. in towards Clark Curve for 6th place. He wants 5th place. He's got a top 5 on the mind, and if he can achieve that, 2 top 5s despite starting at the back of the field and a crash, this man is something extremely special. Final lap of the race underway. Shadow Bounty's in for 2nd. He's overtaken Grauffindel. So it's a BMW B1386 from Shadow Bounty Chevrolet, Graufindel's Volvo in 3rd, then AGO6, Lazarus, and then the charging Nolan Bolin. He wants that 5th place, and he's just 100th of a second away. He may as well be. He's all over the back and riding on board. The car looks like it's treading on treacle. There is so much looseness in that car. The amount of oversteer is just breathtaking. And now will he be able to move to the outside or no? Let's find out. He's doing just about everything he can now. Under the bridge he goes. Side by side. And through around the outside of Hawthorns. It's risky. The power of the BMW shines through again. And that is some of the ballsiest driving I've ever witnessed in Sim Raceway. Nolan Bolin inside the top 5. Can he charge AGO6 or no? I think he's a bit too far away. But our race leader, B1386, is making his way out of the final corner now, through clearways, out of Clark Curve, and B1386 will be the winner of your final 900 to 1100 World Touring Car Championship race for 2011 season. What a drive by B1386, that was truly remarkable. Shadow Bounty crosses the line in 2nd, very hard fought for there, that Chevrolet as well. Great to see a Chevy on the podium. Grauffindel takes 3rd, AGO 4th. What a drive there by Nolan Bolin, definitely the driver of the day in P5. What a way to make a debut. P5 after starting at the back of the field and a crash when you were at 5th in the first place, who had to claw his way back through. Lazarus 6th, Van Panther 7th. Luke Sky was able to take his Volvo into 8th place. 9th place was Stuntman Mike, 10th PA, 11th Jamu, 12th Devil Bevin, and their only retirement was Dimitri's Giannopoulos. Van Panther complaining that his car was damaged towards the end of that race there, and a real shame that was. That would explain why he wasn't as pacey as he was in race number 1. But an emphatic win from B1386, and an even more emphatic end to our World Touring Car Championship. What a championship it was. A massive thank you to our race administrator and events organiser Kosako for organising such a brilliant championship. He never fails to disappoint, does he? A breathtaking series of races from some of the best tracks with the field and class of 2011 World Touring Car Championships. So all of the drivers, I know there have been over nearly 70 to 80 of you that have entered this championship. So a massive well done and thank you to all of you for taking part in what has been a massive part of excuse me. I think that race has almost killed my voice a bit. It's been a massive part of the Sim Raceway 2014 year, and I'm really glad he could have been a part of it. To the audience as well, who've just joined us and made this broadcast possible, you've made me have the most brilliant Sunday afternoons possible, and these last 4 weeks have been sensational. There's no other word for it. I've loved every single second I've been in the commentary booth. To our cameramen who unfortunately haven't been here today, No Fear C and Pedro Ramos, they normally deliver some cracking content. And from myself, Liam Jenkins, I will see you next weekend for a new championship on Sim Raceway. But if you want to stay in touch with us here at Sim Raceway, our Facebook page is facebook.com/Sim Raceway. Our Twitter handle is @SimRaceway, or mine is Liam Jenkins 21. And our Instagram @Sim Raceway, where you can win yourself $2.50 in the way of gift vouchers, which is effectively a free car for just posting some in-game screenshots. So some new horizons on the way next weekend, and I'll be there every step of the way. Take care, guys. I'll see you next week for the dawn of a new era.